You're not tired because life is hard. You're tired because the brain is running the wrong patterns every day. Most people assume fatigue is just sleep, but modern exhaustion is neurological. Microstress, constant stimulation, fragmented attention. The brain burns energy-switching states all day and then wonders why it feels drained. He wakes up at 7:02. At 7:04, he checks his phone. At 7:07, he's already reacting to other people's priorities. Nothing difficult happened, but the brain has already started leaking energy. This isn't just fatigue. It's a nervous system stuck in permanent stimulation. After years of hustle culture, endless notifications, and now AI-driven information overload, 2026 is the year people are realizing something simple. Productivity was never the real problem. The nervous system was. Your brain adapts to repeated behavior. This is neuroplasticity. Repeat draining habits and exhaustion becomes default. Repeat stabilizing habits and the brain rewires toward energy. So the real question is simple. Is he actually tired, or is the brain stuck in exhausting patterns? Habit 1. Kill the reactive morning. Most people wake up and immediately inject stimulation into the brain. Notifications, messages, news, social feeds. The brain enters reactive mode before it even stabilizes. The first minutes after waking are neurologically sensitive. The brain is transitioning from sleep cycles into active cognition, and whatever input arrives first becomes the emotional baseline of the day. Stress early becomes stress all day. High performers reverse the sequence. No phone immediately after waking. Stand up. Drink water. Move the body slightly. Let the brain wake up before the world attacks it. I used to start every morning the same way. Phone in hand before my feet hit the floor. Notifications, messages, headlines. Within minutes, the brain was already reacting to things that didn't matter. After a few weeks of removing that habit, the difference in energy was obvious. The day felt calmer, clearer, longer. Energy follows order. Chaos drains it. Habit 2. Starve the noise. The modern brain processes enormous amounts of information every day. Headlines, notifications, messages, videos, endless feeds. None of these inputs feel physically exhausting, but cognitively, they are expensive. Every input demands evaluation. Ignore it, react to it, save it, compare it. The brain burns energy deciding what to do with information that rarely matters. That is why someone can sit on the couch scrolling for 40 minutes and still feel mentally drained. The brain has been working the entire time. The nervous system treats each notification like a tiny decision. Hundreds of these micro-decisions drain cognitive fuel. Reducing inputs restores energy. Disable unnecessary notifications. Close background tabs. Limit passive consumption. Focus protects energy. Habit 3. Break the dopamine roller coaster. The brain runs on reward chemistry. Dopamine motivates exploration and action, but modern platforms compress reward into extremely fast cycles. Short videos, endless novelty, instant feedback. The brain spikes dopamine quickly, then crashes shortly after. That crash feels like fatigue. Motivation disappears. The person assumes they need more stimulation. So they scroll again. Spike, crash. Spike again. Crash again. The nervous system stays unstable. Stable energy requires stable stimulation, fewer sudden rewards, more sustained attention. The brain prefers predictable signals over constant novelty. Consistency protects the nervous system. Habit 4. Empty the mental RAM. Exhaustion often comes from unfinished loops. Tasks half done. Conversations unresolved. Ideas bouncing around the mind with no structure. The brain hates open loops. It keeps them active in the background, constantly reminding itself not to forget. That silent processing drains energy all day. Externalize the load. Take a sheet of paper and write everything occupying mental space. Tasks, worries, ideas, questions. The moment thoughts leave the mind and become visible, the brain relaxes. It no longer needs to store everything internally. Clarity restores energy. Habit 5. Kill multitasking. The brain cannot truly multitask. It switches rapidly between activities. Email, message, document, notification, back again. Every switch costs energy. The brain must disengage from one task, reorient to another, and rebuild context. Do this hundreds of times a day, and mental fatigue becomes inevitable. Single tasking restores energy. One task, one focus window. No switching. When attention stabilizes, the brain stops wasting fuel rebuilding context repeatedly. Focus is not just productivity, it is energy management. Habit 6. Oxygen reset. The brain consumes about 20% of the body's oxygen supply. When the body sits still for long periods, breathing becomes shallow and circulation slows. Less oxygen reaches the brain. The result feels like fog, slow thinking, heavy concentration. Movement reverses this quickly. Stand up, walk, stretch, rotate the shoulders, take deeper breaths. Even 90 seconds of movement increases oxygen and blood flow to the brain. Energy is physiological before it is psychological. Habit 7. Protect the night cycle. Many people sabotage energy the night before the day even begins. Bright screens late at night suppress melatonin. The brain delays sleep signals. Even if someone spends enough hours in bed, sleep quality drops. The next morning starts with fog. Caffeine temporarily masks the problem, but the nervous system remains strained. Protect the final hour before sleep. Dim lights. Reduce screens. Allow the nervous system to slow down gradually. Sleep is not just rest, it is neural repair. Habit 8. Nervous system reset. When stimulation accumulates all day, the nervous system needs signals of safety. One of the fastest resets is a simple breathing pattern. Inhale slowly through the nose. Take a second short inhale. Then release a long, slow exhale. This breathing pattern signals safety to the nervous system. Within seconds, the heart rate slows and the brain begins to relax. Small resets throughout the day protect energy. Now step back. 8 habits quietly rewiring the brain toward exhaustion. Morning chaos, digital overload, dopamine spikes, mental clutter, multitasking, physical stagnation, night stimulation, nervous system overload. None of them feel dramatic. That is why they persist. He opens Instagram at 6:58. At 7:01, he is comparing. At 7:05, he already feels behind. Nothing difficult happened, but the nervous system is already exhausted. Fatigue is not always lack of sleep. Often, it is lack of structure. The brain adapts to repeated patterns. When chaotic habits repeat daily, the nervous system expects chaos. When stable habits repeat, the brain rewires toward efficiency. Most people chase motivation. They drink more caffeine. They try to push harder. But energy rarely returns through pressure. It returns through alignment. The brain runs efficiently when signals are simple. Fewer inputs, clear priorities, controlled stimulation, regular movement, consistent sleep cycles. Remove the habits draining energy, and the system begins to repair itself. Energy is not something the brain magically finds. It is something the brain protects. Tomorrow morning will begin exactly the same as today, unless something changes. Choose 3 of these habits and remove them for 7 days. Just 3. Watch what happens when the nervous system stops running in chaos. Because exhaustion is rarely random. It is a brain trained to live in constant stimulation. And the brain will always become what it repeatedly practices.